Okay, hi, it's Joanna here with Four-Legged Scholars, and we're here with Kwan, who just completed one of our programs with her dog, Margot, and she wanted to share her experience with us. She did all of her training online with us. So, Kwan, why don't we start off with you telling us, like, what were some of the issues and the struggles that you were dealing with Margot before you started working with us?
Yeah. Speaking of the devil, here comes Margot down the stairs. So I apologize if there's any audio issues. Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
when we
fine.
first got adopted Margot from the shelter, she has a lot of anxious behavior. So she wouldn't want to go home easily after we take her out to the park, and she had a lot of anxiety getting into the car, which make it difficult for us to bring her to fun outings. Um, and yeah, and loud noises kind of spooks her greatly. Yeah, and she knows the sit command probably from the shelter, but aside from that, she's not very well trained. And so, yeah, that was kind of the main concern. Also, we are first time dog owners, and so that's another concern of ours is to um, wanted to start off in a good foot with her, and also um, understand how to build a strong relationship with our first dog. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know, like, when you were dealing with the leash walking in the beginning, that was really stressful because she just was like freezing, right, and not wanting
Mm-hmm.
to walk back home with you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so not fun. So tell me, like, what are some of the tools that you learned with us that were helpful for you
Mm-hmm.
in changing Margot's behavior?
Yeah, I think the most helpful is definitely recording and rewatching the videos with kind of your comments, kind of comparing frame by frame. Like that was actually surprisingly helpful in watching what we did and realizing that's what we did. And then so that was
What were
something
some
that's
of the
really.
videos that sorry about that. I want to make sure that people kind of understand about like the pre-recorded videos. What were some of the things that I had you or requested for you to record?
Yeah, so during our live sessions, you would go over some of the training objectives for the week. And so throughout the week, since we are remote learning, we will do our own recording of our training with Margot at home or on the walk. And so towards the end of our week, we will send those recordings over to you. And so we will review the videos together kind of when doing our last session, and you can helpfully point out like, oh, here's what you did actually relaxed her, or here's something that you didn't do, but like what are other ideas, what are other things you could have done at the time. And so that was really cool and important to watch on video like what we are doing, because that's hard, while you're walking a dog and you don't really know exactly what you did or you didn't do. And so watching the recording was super helpful. And also for us, we learned a lot, and also through the recording, how to read Margot's body language, and that's something that we can translate to off the class, off the session. And so now we actually notice when Margot's ears goes up, she is interested, even though her tail might not be a very strong signal. So a lot of different kind of behavior or like body language that we are picking up. Yeah, and also I really liked kind of your approach in terms of um, figuring out like you kind of use the phrase of like limbic system to like frontal cortex difference, but like really understanding in order to train them, you have to get them out of their like a fear zone essentially, so they're in a relaxed mood, and then makes training easier. So those are amongst many helpful things that we've learned. But I would say the video is certainly probably the most helpful in terms of making progress on training Margot and getting her to do some of the things that we wanted her to do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Did you find it helpful to like rewatch yourself and be able to like
Mm-hmm.
see? Cool, cool. That's awesome.
Yes, extremely. Yeah.
And what were some of the or I guess I should say, like, what is Margot's behavior like now? How is it improved?
Yeah, I would say she jumped into the car, so that was a first. And I think she's slowly overcoming. Yeah, it's very exciting for us. She's 60 pounds, so it's very heavy to have to lift her into the car. So it's exciting that she gets excited to jump into the car. I think we made the training. The training was really crucial. I think getting her to be understanding what we want. And yeah, she doesn't have trouble kind of going home anymore. So we learned how to play games with her on the walks, as well as essentially kind of understanding when she's kind of anxious, and try to like calm her on the spot, and then continue the walk. And so that's been really helpful. And so she doesn't have a ton of anxiety heading back home. Yeah, and then she now knows stay pretty well at home without distraction, and she knows like calm to a certain degree. So we're like progressing on some of the basic commands that she understands.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. I know I was like so excited that day when you showed me that video of her going
Yeah.
into the car. I was like, yay, it happened. And you did such a good job at applying all of those tools. I'm really proud of you guys. So what would you tell somebody if they said, um, what would it be like to work with four-legged scholars online?
Yeah, I had some hesitations also early on, since it's a remote learning, and we've never really had a dog, so it's compounded like first time experience. But I was really like pleasant surprised how well it had worked out, based on the video and then our sessions. And so I would say it might feel kind of strange and odd at first, since mostly dog training are happening in person. But I think um, I think it requires a little bit more work on our end to make sure that we record our walks. And but I think the result is so I want to say fruitful in that, like putting into the effort. And then I also appreciate kind of our usual session length, which is typically about an hour. And usually in person is very short, and it's harder to know whether or not the dog is paying attention to the trainer like there, or paying attention to us. And so I felt like um, our session length plus I guess give us this opportunity to be able to like troubleshoot some of the issues we've had during the week, also rewatch those videos, and then practice live. And so it packed a ton in, and that, yeah, I think that all contributed to the success of Margot's progress these days.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing all that with us, Kwan. We're really gonna miss working with you for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I totally get with you about the whole thing on like, okay, like yeah, you got to be accountable. That's one of the reasons why I kind of like online training even more, is because I'm no longer like there like enabling you at all. Like you got to do the work, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you right now, like if you don't do the work, you won't get the results.
Yeah.
I learned that very, very soon when I first started training in '06, like how many people like couldn't be committed to actually doing the homework, and would just fall out and not get any results at all. So having that, owner level commitment is a huge part of it. And with
Mm-hmm.
that being said, like, that's a lot of, positive reinforcement to you, because
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to get results if you don't put in the effort. So good job with doing that. I'm
Yeah.
really happy that you get to be fruitful in those benefits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, guys. Well, if you decide that you would like to know more about us, you can um, give me a call at 801-463-1668, or 440-548-7312. You can go to leggedscholars.com on our website. And then if you're in Ohio, we also have Ohio, the number 4, leggedscholars.com. Have a great rest of your day, guys.